So England's World Cup journey kicks off today against Iran. If you've been following my videos, a few days ago I did a video about some of the best venues around the area that you can come and watch the World Cup. So today I've come to the Mayfair next to the gate to watch the match, and I'm actually shocked. I thought it was going to be really quiet for this afternoon match. 1 o'clock kick-off against Iran. As you can see behind us, it's absolutely stored off, and I have popped my head in there. It's absolutely chock-a-block. I'm chuffed to bits for the Mayfair that it's really busy today. And I've seen the team sheets. Kieran Trippier starts and right back. Really pleased for the lad. I'm sure he'll have a stonking game, and I'm sure England are going to win by a hatful of goals today as well. But also as well, I mean, the match comes with a lot of controversy, not only because of the various issues with Qatar that's been going on, that's been well publicised, but because in particular about Iran. So I'm not going to get bogged down at the beginning of this video in relation to that. At the end of the video, I'm going to have a bit of a rant about Iran and their inclusion in this particular World Cup for several reasons, so I won't bore you right now. If you're interested, stay till the end. Anyway, I'm going to head inside the Mayfair, get myself settled down at my table, watch the England match. It's coming up. So we're about to kick off England against Iran. It's absolutely heaving in here in the Mayfair. There's some lads behind me jumping all over the shop. Brilliant atmosphere. I thought it was going to be dead, but I'm really impressed. Just kicking off. So we're about 25 minutes in. There's no flow to the game at the minute. It's really scrappy, a lot of cynical fouls going in, especially by Iran. But earlier on, the Iran keeper, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, he clattered his face into his defender, and he's had to go off. He was down for several minutes. Clearly he's got a bust nose. He shouldn't have been allowed to continue, but he did. Then he went down. He's been taken off. We had 25 minutes in, really scrappy. But I hope it settles down and we'll get a quick goal. I mean, I know Harry Maguire is a controversial inclusion in the England squad, especially starting today. He's only started 3 times for Man United this season. He's in a poor run of form. But I have to say, he's been a right handful in the Iranian box in this first half. And he's just had this magnificent header clatter on the underside of the bar. Desperately unlucky. England are 1-0 up, and a superb cross by Luke Shaw and Jude Bellingham with a header from the penalty spot straight in the top corner. England 1-0 up. It's been a mad couple of minutes. Saka has had a screamer with his left foot in the top corner. And I just popped up at the bar and we just scored again there. Raheem Sterling, I think it was. The crowd in the pub just went daft. Yeah, I think it was Raheem Sterling, yeah. 3-0 up. Brilliant. So Helen here behind us, my girlfriend. The 3-0 up, she's missed all 3 goals. The first one, she went to the toilet. Second and third goal, she's been at the bar getting some drinks in. She's just missed 3 goals. I don't know if you can hear that. The second half's kicked off. We're about 5 minutes in, and Callum Wilson, he's been warming up. So it's set the bar up, as you can hear. I hope he comes on, man. Saka's just got his second. 4-0 up now. Really well worked goal on the wing. Cut inside and hit it into the bottom corner. Saka's been having a really good game today, and he's worked well with Trippier on that side of the field. Yeah, 4-0. I can't believe I've just turned this on to mention that Callum Wilson is about to be introduced and to come on for England. And Iran have just pulled one back out of nowhere. Jordan Pickford's not very happy. I haven't feeded fully yet, but it's 4-1. But Callum Wilson is about to come on. I'm not exactly sure what's happening at the minute. You'll have to forgive us. It's really noisy in the pub. I can't hear a lot of the commentary, but it looks like we're making 4 substitutions to the exclusion of Callum Wilson. It looks like Eric Dyer, Marcus Rashford, Jack Grealish and Phil Foden are coming on, so I don't know what's happened with Callum Wilson or exactly what I've missed. But Maguire's just come off because of some sort of collision. Anyway, it's still 4-1. Marcus Rashford's been on about 5 seconds or something, and he's just scored England's 5th, England 5, Iran 1. Really well taken goal, slotted into the bottom corner. Come on! That's it, Callum Wilson's just come on for Harry Kane. The pubs went absolutely daft, and we're still about, with injury time, probably about 20 minutes to go. Excellent opportunity against this sort of opposition for Callum Wilson to get a goal or 2. Come on, Rob. 5-1 up, Callum Wilson's just come on. Kieran Trippier's having a great game. You know, what's this like? What's the atmosphere like in this pub at the minute?
Yeah, buzzing, Eddie. To be fair, I spoke to you earlier on. I said with the World Cup, it was such a quick turnaround. And also, Newcastle have been doing so good at the moment. I feel like it was not the greatest time for us. Like, I wanted to keep the Toon train going, but I've come down here and I'm so glad I did. England are smashing it, and as you've said, to see Trippier representing, best right back in the world for me right now, so good. And Wilson coming on the screen there. Hey, Callum Wilson is going around the room. Yeah, enjoying it, loving it. And the thing is, first game for England on a Monday at lunchtime. It's not the greatest time, but I said if we get a good win today, USA on the Friday, I think that's when England comes alive and we get this World Cup really going.
Oh, the irony of what's just happened. Callum Wilson sent clean through. He only had the keeper to beat, and he cut it back for Jack Grealish to score. Jack Grealish, who's been shrouded in controversy after his comments about Miggy Almiron. You just couldn't make it up. Oh, I just wish Callum Wilson had slotted that ball home. That's just a measure of the player he is. He cut it back for a guaranteed 6th goal against Iran. So Helen's just made a really interesting observation about Jack Grealish, who's just been brought down by an Iranian player, and in particular his lack of shin pads. You wanted to say something, Helen?
He's a dick.
Thank you from our sports correspondent. Back to you, Trevor, in the studio. And he's just slotted it home for 6-2. Yeah, that's going to cause some controversy with the Harry Maguire incident earlier on. It flatters Iran. They shouldn't have scored 2 goals in this match. Nonetheless, it's 6-2. 6-2 to England, and what a cracking afternoon we've had here in the Mayfair, man. I have to say, Hello, Rob. Rob Rubenstein just passing there. I didn't expect anything like that, to be honest. I thought there'd be like a couple of dozen people in there. It's been absolutely heaving. The atmosphere has been brilliant, and when we're coming out, it's 6-2, brilliant atmosphere, few beers, pizza. You kind of beat it in a thoroughly professional performance by England. Having said that, we shouldn't have really conceded 2 goals, but other than that, yeah. And of course we had Callum Wilson, and Kieran Trippier was on from the start as well. Kieran Trippier had a great game. He linked up really well with Saka and Raheem Sterling, but an all-round solid performance. Chuffed a bit. Marcus Rashford, when he coming on, I think he orchestrated things. You know, it's just amazing what confidence can do to a player. He was playing, you know, without anything on his back. You could tell that was Rashford at his best. So a lot to be positive for, I think, going forward for the United States game. But yeah, absolutely cracking atmosphere. So hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Of course, I'll probably be at the NX Newcastle for the United States match. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. But if you've hung around this far, I mentioned at the beginning of the interview about the controversy. So if you don't want to hear all that political crap, then turn off now. But Iran, for me, shouldn't have even been in this World Cup. And it started when Iran started providing drones to Russia, who have been using them indiscriminately against the innocent and good people of Ukraine. How bad is that? Yeah, for that reason alone, they should have been like Russia. They should have been excluded from this competition. And I have to say, you know, I read a lot. I read a lot of geopolitics and philosophy and theology. I've got a lot of opinions about a lot of things. I'm not tarring everybody the same brush. I'm not talking about the ordinary Iranian people. I'm not, and if we're talking about Saudi Arabia, I'm not talking about the ordinary Saudi Arabian people. I'm talking about the regime, the dictators who exercise and flex their indiscriminate powers on their people. But also as well, most recently with Mahsa Amini, the female who was jailed in Iran for an improper hijab. Would you believe it? Then she was beaten by her captors and then subsequently died while she was in police custody. That's led to mass protests in Iran, especially by the female community. Good on them. They've been taking the hijabs off, they've been cutting their hair, really making a statement. Unfortunately, 358 Iranian protesters have been killed recently because of these protests. It's been absolutely horrific, and just in the last couple of days somebody's been sentenced to death for protesting against the Iranian regime. That's the kind of thing that I stand against. That's what I think is awful. You know, these things are complex. You talk about Newcastle United owners. Do I think it's right, like these protesters were protesting against our owners? No, I don't. I think that's too far. Do I think it's right that Newcastle United supporters are saying, I didn't care, just show us your money? I don't think that's right either. It's okay to be conflicted. I'm conflicted when women in the LGBTQ plus community are being persecuted. We need to stand in solidarity for people who are showing courage and bravery for standing up. Did you see Joe Lycett, who recently had a go at David Beckham? David Beckham, who has pledged his allegiance to the LGBTQ plus community. He's a patron of them in some form or another. He's done a lot of great work for charities, and there he goes, show him £10 million. He's in Qatar. Not a dicky bird of a word out of him in relation to the persecution of the gay community. And Joe Lycett said, David Beckham, if you don't pull yourself out of this, I'm going to shred £10,000 of my own money by, I think it was 12 noon on Sunday yesterday. And David Beckham hadn't said a word, and Joe Lycett shredded 10 grand of his own money. I've got nothing but respect and admiration. Yeah, there are charity groups out there who say, God, you could have used that charity money elsewhere. You're missing the point. He's going to say that David Beckham forced him, he gave him an ultimatum. David Beckham, stand up for what you believe in, otherwise you're a hypocrite. And in that respect he is. Like, look, at a couple of months ago he stood for 14 hours in a queue to see the Queen laying in rest, and then he goes to Qatar, give us £10 million and I'll be an ambassador for the World Cup, or in some sort of capacity. And I think Joe Lycett was right to highlight that. So these things are complex. It's all right to be conflicted, in my opinion, but we need to start thinking about these things and talking about these things. Anyway, that's me rattling on. That's my rant over with. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Until the next time, catch you later.